Okay, we still need a couple of more seconds. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the very first EUGLOH Open University session. This online course series is the English version of a popular general knowledge course of the University of Szeged that has been running with great success for 16 years now. It's an optional course for all the students of the university, and now we're very excited that we involved EUGLOH, both students and staff, and all of the EUGLOH universities will be represented in our upcoming sessions. The new series of the online lectures of the Open University will be related to global health and will be open to all majors. The aim of the courses is to disseminate scientific findings and to strengthen the EUGLOH ethos. Yet today, as we are starting something new, we wanted to put EUGLOH under the focus. So during today's session, you will have the chance to get to know the European University Alliance for Global Health firsthand from the members of its leadership. And what better way to introduce you to EUGLOH than to introduce you to the partners of EUGLOH. So first up, I would like to introduce and welcome Professor Sandrine Dancombe, who is the Vice President for International Relations at Université Paris-Saclay, as well as the coordinator of EUGLOH. She will be talking about the University Paris-Saclay first. So Professor Dancombe, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everybody. This is a great honor for me to be invited in this European session of this European course, and that you have actually the opportunity to follow thanks to my colleagues at Szeged University. This is also really honored because I'm deeply European, and because with Szeged University and other partners, Ludwig Maximilian University, Lund University, and Porto University, we decided to do everything that we can do in higher education to make our students, our communities, to become more European. So first I was asked to introduce you the University of Paris-Saclay, which is a new university. We are the coordinators of this European Alliance, working however together with the other partners. So I'm going to share my screen, and I hope it will work. So I hope that you see my screen. Maybe someone can confirm that you can see the screen.
Go ahead, Sandrine, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. So as mentioned before, I'm a Vice Rector of International and European Affairs at the University Paris-Saclay. Paris-Saclay is located in the southwest of Paris, close to a small village called Saclay. I'm a professor in this university, and I'm expert, so I'm teaching an Erasmus Mundus Master, and I'm also a researcher in the field of nanomedicine and radiation therapies for cancer treatments. The university is a big university. This is a new institution that is born the 1st of January 2020, and which merges today several universities, the former University of Orsay, former University of Paris-Sud, different engineering schools and research institutes, as I'm going to present you now. So this is made of, as I mentioned before, 10 academic faculties, which used to be what was called at that time Université Paris-Sud, 4 component institutions, 2 associate institutions, and 7 national research bodies, It hosts the faculties of medicine, pharmacy, sciences, sports sciences as well, and also a faculty of management, business, and law. It has also different technical institutes, an engineering school and one observatory of the Universe Sciences of Universe, three engineering schools in food and agriculture, one more related to electronics, artificial intelligence, computer science in general, one dedicated to optic, Institut d'Optique, and we also host the École Normale Supérieure Paris-Saclay, which is one of the French high school in higher education. Very soon we will also merge with two more universities, the University of Évry and the University of Versailles-Saint-Quentin that you may know. In addition to all these higher education institutions, we also work together with the research bodies that are the CEA, Center of Atomic Energy, the CNRS, Centre National de Recherche Scientifique, the High Institution of Supérieur, Institut Supérieur des Hautes Études, which is mostly mathematicians, the one related also to environment, the one related to computer science, the one related to medical research, and the last one dedicated to aeronautics. So you see that it's a big ensemble, which makes us to be the first in France. The university is dedicated to address societal challenges. The major one that we know and which is health and well-being, but also challenges of environment and climate, biodiversity, agriculture and food, together with the challenges of digital transformation, transmobilities, aerospace, and the industry. The main objective is of course, to train citizens and professionals, and in particular to make them to become European. As I said before, to address the social challenges and also more and more to contribute to innovation, to the economy, and to transfer the technology that is born in the labs. In terms of numbers, the strength of Paris-Saclay, this is the number of different master programs, close to 70 master programs, but also the number of PhDs, more than 1,300 PhDs, new PhDs enter each year for a total of close to 5,000. There is a common signature of scientific publications. Altogether is 13,000 publications per year. We have also 8,500 new research and development jobs developed in 10 years. And also we develop new programs for international students. And at the end, we are a world-class campus that is mixing all together housing of the students, also facilities for sports and cultures for everybody, students and staff. Today, this is close to 48,000 students. With the two other universities, it will be soon 60,000 students. That includes, as I said, 12,000 masters, 4,600 PhDs. This is close to 300 laboratories, and Paris-Saclay research represents close to 13% of the French national research. It has also very big experimental platforms, including large-scale facilities, and it has incubators to bring the technology to the industry, as I said before. So, as I said, there are different domains of research and education related to life science, engineering, but also to social sciences and humanities. And for this to be done, this is organized in graduate schools, and as you can see, different graduate schools dedicated to different disciplines. This is close to 17 graduate schools, computer science, chemistry, etc., math, economics, law. So we are we are hosting really diverse disciplines. So I'm not going to go too much in deep details of the university. As I mentioned, there are also, of course, graduate education with close to 24,000 students in undergraduate programs, including different vocational undergraduate programs. So I'm not going to focus too much on that. Many, as I said, master students as well in different disciplines with different tracks that are taught in English. And that makes the university to welcome at master level close to 30% are international students. And finally, we host many PhDs as well in close to 20 doctoral programs, and close to more than 40% of the PhDs are international PhDs, since the bursary scholarships are open to all the students in the world. So this is a world-class research-intensive university with different numbers, I would say, in terms of statistics. And actually here is the ranking of last year, because this year we got one more position. This is the 13th on the Shanghai ranking, first in math, and the strength is math, physics in particular, as well also than medicine. So what can I say more? I've been saying all of that already. Something you may know is what we call European Research, the European Research Council grants. We are the first host of these ERC grants beneficiaries. And also, we are the first in France and in the world with 10 Fields Medal, which is, as you know, the prize in mathematics. Now we're very proud that we are one also of the 41 European Alliance and coordinator of this EUGLOH European University Global Health Alliance with our partners, and we are very proud of it. So I'm not going to insist on that, but the added value also of the university is about the local and university life. As I said before, we are south from Paris. You have at the top right Paris, even further the airport. And so all the 17 sites of the university are located in the southwest of Paris, which is actually a very nice area to live, called also the Vallée de Chevreuse. So campus life is very rich, and what can I say more than I would say join us, visit us in the frame of the EUGLOH Alliance, of course, because this is now an advantage that all the students at University of Szeged, but also Porto, Munich, and Lund can have. This is to come easily and join training at Paris-Saclay. Thank you very much. I will give the floor now to my colleague Marta. Marta, please. Marta, are you going to take back the floor?
Most a mikrofon, oké. Megosztás indítása, ugye? Yes, I am here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, very well, and I can see also your slides.
Yes, I'm happy. So let's start with the introduction of the University of Szeged. Dear EUGLOH students, dear EUGLOH colleagues, in the coming minutes, I will introduce you the University of Szeged, Szegedi Tudományegyetem in Hungarian, that is situated in the southeast part of Hungary, in a strategic position at the gate of the West Balkan. The university is the intellectual center of this region in many, many aspects. Here I present you our beautiful rectorate building. Our university fulfills all the three key missions of a modern higher education institution, namely education, research, healthcare, and the third mission of social responsibility for our living environment. Traditions are very important at the University of Szeged. Our university was founded 440 years ago in Kolozsvár, Cluj, in Romania, and moved to Szeged, Hungary, exactly 100 years ago in 1921. We are very proud that Albert Szent-Györgyi received his Nobel Prize in 1937 for the work he elaborated in Szeged. Additionally, nowadays we are also very proud that Katalin Karikó, inventor of the mRNA-based vaccine against the coronavirus, is the alumni of our university. Our university has prestigious positions in several ranking systems. Let's see what are the basics of these good ranking positions. We are certain that international aspects are extremely important in this respect. As you can see, many of our undergraduate and graduate programs are open for international students, mainly in English, and all of our doctoral schools run English programs. Here are the lists of them and the photo of 4 of our international students out of more than 4,000 right now. And some numbers again. As you can see, our university has 12 faculties with 22,000 students right now. The 3 biggest faculties are the Faculty of Science and Informatics, the Faculty of Medicine, and the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. And this is the split of our university by education fields. You can see that the education field, education, is represented by a lot of students. Natural sciences and mathematics are also represented with a lot of students, as well as medical studies and healthcare studies are represented with high numbers of students at our university. Most of our students graduate with BA. However, the number of master and PhD diplomas per year are also very high. As I have already mentioned, international relations are key for us. The number of international students is growing from year to year, and we are involved in many, many international programs. Since last year, the University of Szeged is the member of the biggest online education platform, the Coursera. The University of Szeged accommodates 3 international cultural institutes, the Confucius Institute, the Francophone University Center, and the American Corner Szeged. Supporting talented students is a very important aspect for us. Therefore, we run several honor and talent programs in a close cooperation with our local, domestic, and international industrial partners. Entrepreneurial thinking is key for the future career of our students. Therefore, we also run such programs. The ideas for these programs may come either from the students or from our industrial partners. After graduating, we carefully follow the career of our students. The most obvious instrument for this is our alumni program. Moreover, the so-called career office of our university is also very active in supporting our students to find their jobs after graduation, as well as in providing data on their career after graduation. As you can see, these numbers show us that our students are successful in finding their relevant jobs after graduation. Here you can see some additional employment numbers splitted by sectors, field of employers, and county of workplaces within Hungary. Excellence is a basic aspect in all fields at the university. But probably it is the most important at the field of research and innovation. It is supported by several thematic excellence centers within our university. And these programs are run in very close collaborations with our local, domestic, and international industrial partners. Next, I will present you some of our most important international programs, such as the EUGLOH University Alliance, an international research program for the management of nuclear waste in cooperation with French and US institutions, the so-called Center for Molecular Fingerprinting for Early Cancer Detection in cooperation with German institutions. And finally, I would like to mention the newly established Hungarian Center of Excellence in Molecular Medicine Research Institute that was recently founded by the University of Szeged in partnership with two domestic partners. The Research Institute was established in the frame of an EU project in a close cooperation with the European Molecular Biology Laboratories, EMBL, Heidelberg, Germany. Based on these cooperative programs and the research and innovation excellence programs of the university, we are planning strategic innovations and investments in the future. One of them is the Science Park Szeged in close vicinity to the EUGLOH Alps Laser Center. EUGLOH Alps is a unique attosecond research facility, an exceptional research environment for international cooperations in the fields of material and biomedical sciences. And here are the sketches of our plans for the infrastructure, research, and innovation activities for the future Science Park Szeged. The planned work environment will provide ideal possibilities for collaborative research and innovation activities with our local, domestic, and international academic, as well as industrial partners. Here I show you some extra images of this fantastic future infrastructure. Finally, I would like to finish this introduction with the images of our university and our lovely city, Szeged. And with the saying of Bert Sakmann, a Nobel laureate scientist, supporter of one of our honor program. Bert Sakmann says, Szeged, center of Europe in Central Europe. With this, I would like to say thanks for your kind attention.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vice Rector, for your very nice presentation, and also thank you for Sandrine Lacombe for her presentation about University Paris-Saclay. I think it's really interesting to see how both universities are expanding and evolving into really great institutions, and it's even better to see them working together for the same goal. Now I will give back the floor to Sandrine Lacombe because she will give you a general presentation about EUGLOH, the European University Alliance for Global Health. Sandrine, the floor is yours.
First, thank you, my dear colleague Marta, for your presentation. And I think this is not going to end. We continue to work together and presenting our institutions and so on to show how they can function together. So this is really a great challenge. So I'm going to show again my screen and to explain now what we do actually together with the 25 universities and what we did, at least in the very first period of the life of this alliance. Okay, so I suppose that you see my screen now. So EUGLOH stands for European University Alliance for Global Health, and I'm going to explain how we are working and what are our objectives. So this alliance has been initiated after the European Commission decided somehow to use higher education as a soft power to make Europe stronger, and also to increase quality, performance, and competitiveness of the European higher education and its institutions, of course, to challenge the intentional development of the world, how it is. It was already the case before the COVID, and of course, this is certainly accelerated now because of the COVID, because of the different geopolitics in the world, including in particular the Brexit. So this is a strong policy now for the European Commission to allow, to encourage, and really to educate the future, the young generation, to be more European, to work together, and to be, at the end, more effective, and of course, in the environment that we have, and which is also, which includes also the well-being of the people. These alliances are based on bottom-up choice of the policy we'd like to see for the future. So bottom-up is very important. That means that universities are deciding for their own position and for their own transformation. This was open to all types of higher education institutions, and a major issue this was to be geographically balanced. In other words, that the North is talking to the South and the East is talking to the West, and vice versa, of course. Another very important keywords are also socially inclusive. That means that everybody should become European without any distinction of economical obstacles and so on. So this is very important that we empower the universities to open Europe to, at minimum, all the students we face and all the this young generation that will be graduated at the end of their studies. The major goal is the one that you see now, which is to have at minimum 50% of the students that will get a European experience. be it physical or online, as we do now, actually. And this by 2025, which is very, very soon. To give you a really quick comparison, today, the percentage of students that are open, that are trained by Erasmus, for instance, is much below 5% in average. And so people, even young, do not talk to each other, so we lose efficiency. So what is about now this particular alliance? The alliance we choose is composed, as you see here, of 5 universities. Once again, University Paris-Saclay here, in fact, the University of Lund, Ludwig Maximilian University in the center, Szeged University in the east, and Porto University in the west. So we are 5 major European universities that all host unique scientific platforms, including large-scale facilities. Like, for instance, in Szeged, you have the ELIDE laser facility, but not only. So they are all they all have a cross-cutting research in the field of global health. These 5 universities together, it represents close to 200,000 students, which is in the average of the alliances, more than 20,000 academic staff, 70 faculties and schools, and more than 450 groups of research. They will all offer, so this, we are in a pilot phase. We are a pilot, considered as a pilot European university. We are among the 17 first university that were selected in the very first call. And then there has been a second call, and altogether now we are 41. But we were already selected at first pilot alliance. It's important to say, because it explains also that it's difficult, of course, to lead somehow this transformation and to show to the other universities how we are dealing with this challenge. So once again, this is thanks to this alliance, we really intend to achieve and to reach this goal of the 50% of our students that will have this experience. And I will give you some example in what we achieved in 1 year. We are all also committed to improve the competencies and our practices of teaching, but also our practices to manage these programs, and in general, how to manage the universities themselves, again, to gain in efficiency. One of challenges also to build together a European super campus with a high level of integration and to sustain joint procedures and structures. With other words, that means that students from Szeged University, in principle, in some months from now, will be able to attend courses also physically at Paris-Saclay, going to the student residency, having access to the libraries, etc. And of course, the same with the other universities. Of course, all of that is to promote our teaching, our European values and teaching, and boost attractiveness, competitiveness of the European higher education in general, together with research and innovation. So to attract talents of the other places in the world. And of course, you can understand we'll be more competitive being together. Then at the end, we want also to be recognized, more visible in terms of expertise in the field of global health, and of course to open up this expertise to other countries. So what is global health? Global health covers actually very different disciplines. It unifies different fields Of course, medicine, health sciences, veterinary science, pharmacy, biology, physics, and chemistry, so natural sciences, but also other fields like human sciences, law, economy, management, everything, all the sciences connected to climate, environment, and biodiversity. As I mentioned before, one of our specificity is not only to be strong in all these fields, but also to host large-scale infrastructures and platforms. And this is really a key difference with other alliances, for instance. We also combine these different sciences with engineering, with computer and data sciences. Two specificities, this is to have also sports science and food and nutrition in this alliance. Of course, there are some aspects which are, I would say that we would see less, which are more connected, for instance, to art or architecture, which is not the main aspect of the theme that we decided to develop. A quick view on the different other alliances, 41, and as you can see, EUGLOH is one of the alliances which has an average number of students, which is the average of the others. Some achievements that we had the first year, but of course we continued since that time to develop actions. First, all together today, it's more than 80 actions, more than 4,500 students that participated in this training and different activities. So we developed, for instance, as key actions, a guidebook of practices with common course design, selection, promotion, the practices of student recruitment, monitoring, and so on, which is the management aspect, but this is something very, very important. And we did not finish yet, actually, to harmonize this organization. In terms of teaching, there are actually not only 2 summer schools, but now plenty, but it's about summer schools, it's about short training programs, and it is also student conferences, all valorized and considered, evaluated with certificates in ECTS for students, which is also a big challenge, of course, to share this way of evaluation. And as I said, it's about building a European campus, and so we have big events such as the Alliance Day, such as the annual summit that will take place very soon in Porto. And as you can see here, of course, because of the COVID, and I would say despite the COVID, most of these activities took place online, which was also actually an opportunity for all the communities, students, staff, and professors to switch online, and like I'm doing now, actually. Hopefully, we will change soon to see each other on site. As you can see, we had different mobilities, and it's very interesting because, as we say, we managed to achieve 53%, close to 50% of what was planned in the project, but as I just said, close to 90% was made virtual, which was not, of course, initially planned. But we fit to our plan, and we fit to our objectives and to our challenge to tell to the students that what is the added values for them. The added value for the students, because everything is oriented to the students in this at this stage. This is that we broaden, we increase, we enlarge the diversity of the courses they may face, like the one you are going to have now is something very specific that is thanks to the collaboration of the different sides. So this is to have a broad offer, this is to have access to interdisciplinarity, like you have now as well, but this is also to have a broader offer in terms of transferable skills training, be it scientific writing, construction of Europass, these kind of things, where some universities, they have more practice, some others not. So we are going to share all of it, and of course to give more to the students. This is also to give a broader experience of mobility at home in particular, because as you can imagine, it's not possible to make the 200,000 students to move physically, but at least sharing courses and seminars. This is about offering mobility at home, European mobility at home. This is, of course, more inclusive for the students who are scared to move or the students that cannot afford. Of course, the European Commission is helping to support financially all the students, but there can be any obstacle that make them to stay home. And even if they stay home, they should be able to have access to the other cultures like we did actually during the COVID crisis. And this is, of course, to increase also the attractiveness of the curricula, because on the job market, there is a big difference between a student that never moved and a student who moved in Europe in particular. This is now a strong added value in the CV for these students. And of course, there are plenty of new ways to improve the curriculum, including transversal skills, like for instance, to participate also in the organization in the event, not only in sciences, but also in participation in the boards and etc. Another added value is definitely to enlarge the networking. When you have access to academic experts of 5 different institutions with more than 1,000 laboratories altogether, it gives access also to unique platforms in different countries and institutions. It's unique for the students. This is also the unique opportunity to give access to a network of industrials, because all these institutions are located in very rich and rapidly developing ecosystems in Germany, Hungary, Portugal, and of course I forgot mine, in France. And so for the students, it's also the opportunity to look for internship in the different ecosystems. So this is multiplied by 5 minimum. Again, it's the opportunity to develop personal skills through different actions. It can be ambassadorship. You can decide also to take part in your local student board. So please welcome. You will be representative of the students, and you will participate in developing communication tools and etc. If you want more information about this, please ask your local coordinators. And of course, this is also the opportunity unique to practice interculturality and to share European values. That means how the generation of thinking in the different parts of Europe, that's very important. Of course, all of it can be online, virtual, but all of that can be made physically on site. Welcome to Paris-Saclay when you're from Hungary, and the same thing for all the other students of the partner university. Decide where you would like to go and build your own project. Just to say that we are helped and strongly reinforced and advised by very important people, one in each country. They are all the consultant or expert that are close to our government. Alain Beretz in France, Paolo Macedo in Portugal, Lena Ek in Sweden, Janos Martoni in Hungary, and Maximilian Reiser in Germany. So they all help to develop the local policies and advising us as an alliance to be more connected to the society and to the territory. I will finish saying that you have plenty of ways to be included in this alliance. It's very important, this teaching you are going to have today, in this week, and facing the different professors. But again, you are really welcome and I strongly encourage you to take part in the life of this story, the life of this alliance, because you will have everything to win, be it through your CV or just meeting people of other countries that will give you opportunities to find other friends, other cultures, and to travel in different places, most of it being covered financially by the program itself. So use this opportunity for yourself, for your society, for your country, and at the end, altogether for Europe. Thank you very much for your attention. And again, I wish you all the best during this training. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandrine Lacombe, for this engaging presentation about EUGLOH itself. In the meantime, if any one of our viewers have any questions to our two presenters today, I strongly encourage you to ask those questions, and we are really happy to send them to the professors. We actually received a question already, which is addressed to Professor Sandrine Lacombe. It says, could you tell me more about EUGLOH research groups?
Okay. So the question, sorry, I'm a bit dark. This is, I should switch on the light. I'm sorry, I should open the shutters. The question is, I should tell more about the research groups. Is it the question?
Yes, exactly, about the research groups.
Research groups in the Alliance are really plural. So I don't know whether I should answer about all the research groups, because as I said, there are more than 1,000 laboratories altogether. So the easiest, this is to go on the website, to click on the research, because there is also, actually we started collaboration in research, or the other possibilities for a student, this is to go directly on the website of each institution. So if this would be at Paris-Saclay, you go on the website of Paris-Saclay. Maybe this is missing, but I'm sure that you Google University Paris-Saclay, you will find it, and you would see all the laboratories connected to research, and you can look for chemistry or law or whatever it is. So all the research labs are open for internship, for instance. If it was the question, did I answer the question?
I believe you did. Thank you so much. And in the meantime, we received one more question, is can PhD students join EUGLOH?
Of course. Is it a question?
That was a question.
Okay. Yes, of course, yes. A PhD student, if you call it a student, a PhD in France is already considered as a job insertion, I would say. But of course, yes, but that's true that for PhD, they join the student board. And I'm sure, I don't know from which university is this student, but if this student comes from Szeged University in particular, I'm sure that there is an address that Marta can give for this student to be connected. Can we give maybe the student right away that they would connect?
Yes. Thank you very much, Sandrine. Actually, within the EUGLOH project, Work Package 3 is absolutely dedicated for the cooperative activities of students at all study level at the 5 universities. So this is the work package in which we organize the summer schools, but also research exchange programs. All the possible topics that will be open for the students at all study level, also for PhDs, are listed at the web page of the EUGLOH Alliance. And whenever it will be possible to travel freely within the partner universities, we will open this program, and we will be able to send students to all other 4 partners for research activities. Thank you.
Exactly. You would find on the website actually contacts.
Yes, the name of the laboratories, the topics, and the persons responsible for them are all listed.
Yeah. And if not, you write an email to Marta or to me.
Should have started last year, but we were not able to start because of the COVID, the exchange programs.
Yeah. So don't hesitate. I'm going more under the light. Yeah, so don't hesitate. You find contacts everywhere. Ask otherwise Service of International Relations, and they all know about it. There should not be any obstacle, any good reason for the student not going within the alliance. Definitely yes. And I'm sorry to say that for the one who will have this experience, this European experience, there is no, for me, I mean, no hesitation. Definitely on the job market, there will be taken for sure before people who do not move. That's very clear. We've been working with industrial. They all say the same thing. They want European citizens. So you can work in a company in France coming from Hungary. If you have an experience, global experience, it will be very welcome. And that's the same, of course, in all the directions. Marta, you could comment on that, but this is a very clear commitment we have from the European Commission.
Yes.
The world is changing.
It's the same here. Even local or domestic companies or big multinational companies within Hungary, they all welcome students who have international experience. Sure. Yeah, it's the same all over Europe.
Yeah.
Thank you for your answers. I think we might have time for one last question. The question is, Sandrine mentioned during her presentation that this is a pilot project with specific goals. Mind if I ask, what are the long-term plans? Are there any long-term plans for EUGLOH? Could you share some of those plans?
Well, the plans for EUGLOH, as I presented actually, this is first in the first. Why we call it pilot? Because we have to work to find new ideas for the management, for the organization, which is not yet fully, I would say, optimum. But it's not a pilot in the sense of working within Europe. It can be it's not pilot in this sense. I mean, we will never come back to know whether Paris-Saclay University should be European at any stage somehow, and I'm sure this is the same for the other universities. Why? Because higher education is about a global education market, global education exchange. So what is the long-term process? This is somehow what I just said. This is that to be visible, attractive, and competitive for the rest of the world. That means that students from other countries, they will be attracted by what our students have access to. This will be also to make the researchers to work together. Because if you think about the crisis, management of crisis, and so on, this is typically a subject we are in process to work with. Tomorrow, Europe must be strong and independent for its choice, in particular facing crisis. We should not depend on the US, on China, or anything. We are all strong. This is full of brains. This is full of technology. And so the long term is to make education stronger, to make research stronger, and to be more connected to territories. That means that we train young generation. They are hired by whom? By the companies, local companies. When I mean local, means European companies. And that is the objectives at long term. So that makes Paris-Saclay to be less Paris-Saclay, or to be less Paris, if you want to. That makes, of course, Szeged to be less Hungarian, etc. It takes time. It takes time. But we trust all the young generation to be faster than what we are. We just give, the first tools, the first directions. And then they will follow, they will take the rest. They will build the rest. Everything must be built, so.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sandrine Lacombe. I think we are running out of time, so this is the end for our first session. And I would like to thank again for Professor Sandrine Lacombe and Professor Marta Széll for joining us today and share some knowledge about their universities and also about EUGLOH. And as I said, I strongly suggest everyone to go and visit EUGLOH's website, which is www.eugloh.eu, and you can learn all important information regarding the Alliance, the partner universities. You can find program calendars there where you can see what kind of events EUGLOH has to offer you, what sort of studies you can pursue within the framework of the Alliance. And I strongly suggest you to follow EUGLOH on social medias as well, because it always keeps you updated about what's going on within the Alliance. And it's a really interesting thing to be a part of this family, I would say. And I would also want to disclose an important disclaimer, as our next session is going to be taking place on the 22nd of September. It will be another introductory session about EUGLOH. And in addition to this online lecture series, we also recommend the interactive EUGLOH Introduction to Global Health module as a complementary course to this course session. And it gives you a great chance to interact with content and test your knowledge as you go, as well as gaining some credits on the way. And we also received one last question regarding this course, how to complete this course, which is very simple. You visit all of these sessions that we are holding to you until the beginning of December, and after that there will be an exam available throughout the CoSpace platform, and you will take some time to take this test, and then you will receive the credits. And if you have any further questions, you can also post them in the CoSpace scene. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention. Thank you again for our speakers for today, and we will see you on the 22nd of September. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye-bye.